Let's practice. Okay. So I really, really needed to put some information before the final lesson of the month because there was a topic that we needed to cover in order to understand the next. So when I saw yesterday's slides, I was like, nope, I cannot teach them this right now because I need to teach them something before. And so one of the objectives that that we need to cover is precisely in this video, right? They speak using this particular strategy. So let's talk about that and watch the video that opens the new topic. The video is called Why Everything You Buy is Worse Now, which probably we know what the video is going to be about. When you read this title, what do you think the video is going to be about?
Chinese products.
Chinese products, okay, okay. The factory of the world,
Yes, exactly.
okay. What else?
The quality of the production is not so good now.
Precisely. Good job. That one is closer compared to many years ago. You know?
I think this more question more related to the uh, seasonal fashion,
Seasonal fashion, interesting.
because for example, I recently I saw watch
Mhm.
a video about clothes
Okay.
for of famous brands, for example, say Zara, something like this,
Mhm.
and that they produce constant new clothes models,
Mm,
and when these models are not sale,
sold.
uh, sold, yes, sorry, sold, these are disposed in
Mhm.
a desert.
Yes, that can be also a deal happening with why things last a little because they know that they are not going to be sold, you know?
Yes,
That can be also a reason why things are worse. That's very, very creepy, no? Because in the past things were meant to last. They were produced to last, and today, like the clothes that you are gonna buy today, in 2 months, people are not gonna like it. In 2 months, the fashion will completely like turn, no?
yes. See, they know that people are constantly demanding new ideas.
Hmm.
Even, yes, for example, what is new this winter,
Hmm.
it won't be new next winter.
Totally.
So people is expecting new models, new ideas, new designs, and the brands are being adapting to this demand.
That's so interesting. That is also another why why things last less because they will need them for less time, no, for less for shorter. That's the expression. They will need them for shorter.
See, yes. So brands are responding with uh, quality.
Mhm. With a what? I think I lost you.
Ah, sorry. Yes, I think that brands are responding with a reduced quality.
With a reduced quality. Interesting. Okay, let's watch the video because you're close to what the video talks about, but there's still some stuff that it's more about quality rather than quantity, you know? There is, of course, the problem that you mentioned is true, that happens, but this particular topic goes in another direction. Let's watch the video and let's see what we get. Okay? Let's go.
So have you all noticed that everything kind of sucks now? And I don't mean like the general state of the world. I mean like the stuff we buy is just like a little bit worse than it was 10 years ago. And I really started thinking about this because my coworker Izzy wrote about how she had to replace a bra.
So I'm gonna do what any normal person would do, which is buy the exact same thing from the exact same place.
And then after a few weeks, it just kind of
fell apart. So this kind of started me on like this journey of like, okay, I'm hearing anecdotally from like so many people that I talk to like in my life, from coffee machines, phones, computers, sweaters.
They all tear or break or like explode way sooner than they used to. So what's going on? And is there a way to climb out from under this pile of consumer trash? So let's talk about this in the most basic of terms, starting with the design process. When a company wants to make a thing, let's say like a jacket, there are three main factors to consider. Functionality, does it work? Appearance, does it look good? And manufacturability, is it easy and fairly inexpensive to make a lot of this product? Generally, a good product will have a good blend of these three things. But in recent years, this process has been thrown off balance. Let's look at clothes, for example. In the past, if you needed a new jacket, you used to go to a tailor, get measured, choose a material, and have it made. Then for decades, instead of going to a tailor for a jacket, we went to department stores and bought things that were mass-produced. By the 80s and 90s, we had tons of options in stores to choose from. And now, many of us just kind of go online, click add to cart, and buy a product without ever seeing it in person. But it's not just how we buy, it's how often we buy. And for that, we can kind of blame this man.
Ernest Elmo, yeah, incredible name. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, he wrote this paper that was like, okay, like the government should really like support this idea of planned obsolescence.
Except he didn't call it planned obsolescence. He called it consumer engineering. Remember that jacket you bought? Well, it's a new season and it's out of style. Buttons are out, zippers are in. So you buy something new, but not because there was anything physically wrong with the original.
That's why it's called consumer engineering, right? Like it's up here in the brain.
And we've been living this way for decades, so now we all want the next best thing all the time. And that demand has spun out of control. Today, we are surrounded.
The speed of certain trend cycles and the fact that they're geared towards like these micro communities, like Stanley Cups, when like maybe a year ago it was like hydro flasks.
The result is that we buy a lot. A survey done in 2021 found that nearly 40% of UK consumers buy clothing as often as once a month. The UN reports that between the year 2000 and 2014, the average person was buying 60% more clothing, and each item was only kept half as long. So we want to buy a lot of stuff fast, and because we replace our stuff so often, we don't really want to spend a lot of money on it, which has an effect too.
People aren't willing to pay more for something they have purchased a while ago. So like if I paid $30 for a bra 10 years ago, it would be really hard for me to buy it at $50, even though in the last 10 years, labor costs have risen.
So what we're left with is an incredibly fast cycle of demand for low-cost products, and here's what that looks like. In order to speed up manufacturing, companies have to either hire more people, alter how the product is made, or both. But they also have to keep prices low enough for consumers to keep buying. So they may start swapping materials, like cotton or silk for a cheaper synthetic material, or rely on a more basic stitching pattern that maybe just doesn't hold as well. So if after 10 years, you're still paying the same price, or close to the same price, for a product that looks the same, well, something had to change. So you might say, okay, Kim, fashion trends are moving too fast and we buy too much stuff. I get it, but why does my washing machine suck? And that's a great question. Let's talk about technology. When things like computers first became part of our daily lives, it made a lot of sense to upgrade devices pretty often.
There was actually very big differences in what a device did that's 2 years old versus one that was brand new in the market. There was just big leaps.
This is Gay Gordon Byrne. She directs a consumer advocacy group called the Repair Association.
You know, if you had a 2-year-old thing, you probably couldn't do half the cool stuff that the other guy could do. So that kind of fueled the replacement cycle because you really did get something better in terms of functionality.
For example, when the iPhone was first made, it was a major breakthrough. Subsequent phones up to a point responded to major technological leaps, like look at the difference between the 3GS and the 4. The iPhone 4 had a way better resolution and a front-facing camera. For a while, these major leaps between models was the norm for technology. But we're not making those giant changes as often anymore. Instead, partly to make us want to buy more things, companies make very minor adjustments year after year. So the dryer you own may now play a fun little song at the end of a cycle instead of screaming. And now, as devices advanced and got increasingly complicated, there was another problem for consumers.
All of these things started to come into the world. They didn't come in with repair tools. They came in to be thrown away.
Basically, when this stuff breaks, it's often intentionally impossible to repair.
Because if you buy something that has a computer chip in it or a circuit board or whatever, you probably can't make one in your garage. So you're very reliant on what the manufacturer will agree to sell. And very often they don't agree to sell parts and tools and diagnostics or even give you a diagram.
But sometimes it really just is impossible to fix because they cut corners just like in fashion, replacing metal and screws with plastic and glue. And these kind of issues apply across the board in technology, from your phone to toasters to blenders to electric wheelchairs to your car.
If you walk around your house or your apartment and you start cataloging how many things you own that have chips in them, I think you'd be really surprised how big that lack of repair problem actually is.
I want people to feel hopeful. Yes, this is something that's like out of our control in some ways and not out of our control in others. I don't want you to feel guilty for like partaking in this system when like so many people, we've been kind of brought up culturally to think in this way or to buy in this way.
Compared to other things that suck in the world, we actually have a surprising amount of control over this situation. With tech, fighting for the right to repair is actually extremely effective. New York State just passed a right to repair bill in 2022, and it's not perfect, but at least it's something. With fashion, stay away from microtrends and fast fashion as often as you can. Buy with intention and learn to take care of the things you do have.
Think of like your objects as having maintenance. Read those care labels.
As consumers, it's gonna take a little bit for us to sift through all the trash and retrain our brains a bit, but we can take small steps to take back control of the process. After all of this stuff is supposed to be made for us. So let's make it clear what we want.
Okay, you were very close. Like what Robert was saying is precisely the first section of the video, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yes.
Right? What did you get from the video, Chucho? What did you understand?
Well, this diagram that shows how a clothes should have these three characteristics between functionality, manufacturability, and appreciability. I don't know. Yes.
Kinda appearance.
Appearance. Yes. So it's very intuitive. So how this shows during, I don't know, the last 60 years, manufacturability has grown and increased, but it had a cost, that functionality and appearance increased. So it was so interesting.
Can you repeat what happened with functionality and appearance, or what was the last part, because I couldn't hear you well?
Okay. Functionality and appearance decreased a lot.
during the time.
Exactly, during the time. Because especially producers use cheaper materials to produce the things. So you exactly you buy the same thing, but it doesn't have the same quality than before.
Right. Why, in an economy perspective, why do they use cheaper materials?
To reduce costs and generate
How
greater profits. Yes.
nice. And according to the video, did you get why they do that specifically?
Uh, yes, I heard the next person.
The next person. Okay, we need help.
Yes, teacher.
Why?
Because they say that they due to the constant offer of new, for example, program TV series and something like this, society is expecting, or not, sorry, not expecting, demanding new, yes, for example, new design. No? So these constant demands need for mass production. They say massive production,
Mass, not massive.
mass production. So in order to satisfy this mass production, manufacturability need to be easier.
Right. But that's precisely my question. Like, in the past, it was mass produced. Today, too. What's the difference then?
Because they have to, well, they need to we want to maintain the price
Keep,
of the product,
keep the price.
keep the price as, we want to pay the same for us, for my product. So they need to, how is the word? They have to, what is the word? I lost the word.
Adjust, adapt.
No, well, adapt, but it's like abandon some things. In this case, the quality.
Oh, okay. And we have to
It's like
resign to.
well, it's not the word that I am looking for, but yeah, they need to sacrifice something.
Good.
So the product has to be has to have the same functionality and the appearance almost the same. So they have to sacrifice something. In this case, the quality, because they need more people to do the same product or more products
To make, no?
to make to make more products for the
Yes.
demands, and that's why they have to make it less good than in
Yeah.
the than before.
But you said something very important at the beginning. We want to pay the same.
Yes.
That's exactly the point of the first part of the video. The problem is not that the companies are making the things cheaper. The problem is that we want to pay the same during all those years. Like when I was younger, Gansito was 5 pesos. Yes, brother, but the Mexican peso was not 18 pesos. You know,
Yeah.
like the inflation and the price of things have changed during the time, but we still don't it's difficult for the general public to understand that prices change through the time, which is very, very
Because
that's a
our
classical
salary
thing.
is the same.
Because our salary is the same, number one, which talks about a major problem,
Yeah.
and number two, the the demand of the product is even higher and faster. They need to the demand is going to die very soon.
Yeah.
Those are the two very important issues that happen here. So talking about like salary and inflation, raw material prices, it becomes with a very, very massive problem that eventually affects, but we don't usually consider that prices change. You know, that's precisely the thing that affects the way we see products. Or what do you think?
I lost the question, teacher. What?
That the massive issue is how we don't consider the change of prices.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Why people is expecting the same price? No.
Mm-hmm. Where people are expecting the same price.
People are, yes.
Why
Because
does that happen?
we don't have because our salary is the same. I think because I don't have extra money, and I have to pay more things eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you think that you have to pay. Well, you calculate your the things that you have to pay
Mm-hmm.
with the same price because you need that much of money.
Yeah, totally.
Well, in my case, I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
suppose.
That makes sense. Yes, you will need this amount for other things, and then you will say, okay, if I paid 10 pesos for a pen today, tomorrow I want to pay the same price because I need to pay other stuff. No, that makes total sense.
Yes, I coincide with it because, for example,
You
millennials.
agree with it.
I agree with it because, for example, millennials are criticized, no,
Mm-hmm. Criticize. Mm-hmm.
criticized because, for example, when millennials are 30 years old,
Mm-hmm.
for example, they don't have a house, for example, no?
Right.
And parents say, when I was 30 years old, I had, for example, I don't know, a land,
A
and
land,
I was
right?
building a house.
Yes.
But yes, but when I don't know, 30 years ago, the prices were lower.
Mm-hmm. Much lower.
So it was easier to buy a land, to buy a house in comparison with today.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many things which prices has been increased a
Mm-hmm.
lot. For example, in particular, land prices.
Mm-hmm.
So I think clothes vendors, the brands, know
Yeah.
this phenomenon, and they know that people is paying a lot for these needs,
Mm-hmm.
and people have has a reduced budget
Mm-hmm.
for other things like clothes. So they need to maintain a competitive price,
Yeah, sure.
and the only way is reducing quality.
What an issue, no? What an issue, because yeah, that's exactly what is going on, and it's directly connected with what it says. The amount of money that we require to manage is the same during the time, but prices will totally be completely different, and then priorities are going to change too, right? So is this a problem of salary, or is this a problem of trend too? Because trends, as you mentioned at the beginning, Luis, something that is considered new today, in 2 months is going to be completely different. Especially in the era of fast trends such as TikTok. Have you noticed? Well, if you are a TikTok user, you will notice some very interesting phenomenon. A song that sounds new today will stop sounding new in a month. In just a month, you are tired and sick and tired of listening to that song. When you hear people speaking about their music from the 60s, from the 70s, that was a novelty and it was so amazing. Today they continue listening to that music, right? AC/DC, the Beatles, things like that. But then you hear a song today that is new, people will stop listening to that very soon. So the time span, this is a vocabulary that I want to share with you. Lifespan. The length of time that something is likely to live, continue, or function. The lifespan of songs is so short, like impressively short. And then not only songs, in this case, I'm talking about music and manufacturing music, but also stuff that you see. Because if everybody's going to repeat the same action over and over and over and over, then you're going to get tired of that pretty soon. So then your sweater that you bought, your sweater that everybody bought on January, is old by February. And then February brings with new trends that will get old on March. And the list goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? What do you think about this phenomenon?
Mm. It's like at the final of the video said
At the end.
at the end, the girl says something about we have to be clear about the things that we really want.
Exactly.
And I think that we push these actions in the market
as consumers.
As consumers, yes, because we want more and more easily, faster, cheaper, and we create this kind of necessity, anxiety. I have to say, you are in TikTok and you feel anxious to buy or to feel or to think or to buy something that we are seeing, because you are receiving this message so many times in so short times.
They are called a dose of dopamine.
Yeah, it's a drug. Yes. And so we push that feeling or that this necessity in the brands.
Mm-hmm.
So as a marketer person,
Mm-hmm.
I give you the thing that you want.
Exactly.
And if you want to feel that way, be my guest. Here
Exactly.
you are. Yeah.
And that's even more and more and more common every single day. Like
Yes.
people wanting things fast. Ah, perfect. Then the marketing team, the branding
Yeah.
team, everybody's going to work in order to make that faster, easier, and immediate to you.
Yes. We worked. Oh, when I started, we worked in plans in marketing plans for a year
Okay.
and complete year, no, and now we don't have the clarity to do that. We have to do trimester plans, bimester plans, and we have to change it constantly because we don't have this clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the market is who tell us what we have to do the next month.
So
So
now you depend on the market, and before
yes,
it was experimentation for the full year.
yes. Before we have the power to say this year you want to you are going to buy this and this and then this and then this and then this.
Mm-hmm.
And now the market is telling you, no, we have this and then this and then this.
And we want,
We
no?
want, yes.
What a different change of behavior. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. The thing is behavioral. It's not economical totally or
Yeah.
totally about money. Is
No.
that we behave very differently too.
Even in the songs, you saw you everyone go saw or hear the Shakira songs.
Mm-hmm.
So these songs comes from nowhere one day
Mm-hmm.
and be a hit, and now it's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
No, no more, no longer in our in our ears. And before a song during a month, a year in this in playlist,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
important playlist.
Right?
No, I don't
And
know.
and not even a year. I got sick and tired of that song in 2 days, you know? Like
Yes,
it
the
was like
first day.
everybody heard it.
Yes, and TikTok was insane with that song.
Yeah.
Everything, everything we want to, everything that you saw in TikTok comes with that song.
Okay, exactly. So imagine hearing the same beat over and over and over and over and over all over the social media because it was on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Then you open the television and you hear the song again. Well, of
Yeah,
course, you're gonna get sick and tired of that song
yeah,
instantly, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And it's much faster than it was before because before you heard people in the car listening to the song, but today you have it in your phones, on television, on internet, and then you discover that it's everywhere.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
it's
mhm.
so easy to get sick and tired of things today with this trend.
Sorry.
Does Luis know what song we are talking about? Or have you heard that song? I will be so surprised if you say that you haven't heard that song. Are you there, Luis? Can you hear us? Luis.
I think I lost connectivity, teacher. Sorry.
Okay, there you are. Okay, but anyway, if you lost connectivity, you didn't hear the last part. But anyway, move on. Let's move on to the lesson. I hope that we don't lose connectivity for the next part because the next part is kind of important. We're going to talk about the way words are put in English because I want to show you some information that we have been practicing during these days. Do you remember what were collocations?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? And we talked in previous classes how these collocations exist in at the end of some questions, no? This particular phenomenon happens also with other types of words, and it happens specifically with adjectives too. I want you to practice adjectives, and I want you to use them together with nouns because we're going to use this particular analysis in the video. Look at this. What happens in this video is that we have a lot of information put together in one sentence. Okay? And they are groups of words that go together in two ways. Number one, because they are commonly together, and number two, because they are collocations. They are connectors precisely. Okay? So let's talk about, for example, let's read these examples, right? Luis, help me read the first examples that we have here.
A simple adjective.
Yes, precisely.
Yes, simple adjective. Head. That's a lovely cake. An adjective goes before the noun and before the noun it describes. These flowers are wonderful. Or after, a linking verb.
That's the natural behavior of an adjective, right? The first examples are in order for you to understand the rest. Because today we're going to see how the groups of words are also technically working as a unit. That's what we call phrases. And we are going to focus a lot on phrases these days. A phrase is a group of words that work as a unit, and they are working as one word. For example, the group of words in this case are going to work as one adjective. For example, look at this next example. Adjective preceded by an adverb describing or emphasizing it. The soup is pretty cold. When you say pretty cold, the two words are not individual. The word pretty is describing cold, and the word pretty cold is describing the soup. So technically, these two words are working together. The function that they are doing is describing, like an adjective. Do you agree with me?
Yes, because if you drop cold, this sentence cannot be understood.
Exactly.
And if you drop pretty, you lost the you are not emphasizing how cold the soup is.
Exactly. You lose intention, no?
Yes.
So the two words, how would you describe an adverb phrase? What is an adverb phrase? No, an adjective, sorry. What is an adjective phrase? according to this example?
A group of words which play the role of an adjective, but all the words in conjunction.
Exactly. I like it. I like the way you say it. Good. Is all the words in conjunction all together working as an adjective, right? And an adjective can describe where things are, how things are, or what things are like. The question that you have on the top is also very, very important. You can say, what is the soup like? Let's put this. Oh, actually, you have it here. How is the soup like? What is the soup like? The preposition like, because in this case it's a preposition, goes together with the question what in order to ask the question how. Okay? It's the same question. For example, thinking in Spanish, we say, ¿qué te pareció la sopa? ¿Qué tal está la sopa? How would you translate ¿qué tal? That's impossible. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, in particular the second word.
In particular, the second sentence, the second question.
I was referring to tal.
Okay. ¿Qué tal? Claro, of course. Okay. I get it. Then this is when we understand how, number one, different English is from Spanish, and number two, how common is the second question. This one here is more common than the first one because this one is directly copied from Spanish. Do you get it? The question, what like, gets the answer of an adjective phrase. Check this out. Read the next example. Help me with this one.
How are the exercises? Yes. What are the exercises like?
Exercises, right? It needs to be plural.
Exercise, yes, like. Okay. What are the exercise like?
No, it needs to be plural. I am wrong. That's the one.
What are the exercises like?
Much better.
Wait. Sorry. Many of the exercises are fairly difficult.
Right. Which again, we have the opinion on the person. No, the opinion of the person over the exercises. And technically we have the question what like that can replace the question how. So up to this moment, do you have any question?
No, by my side, teacher.
Nice. So whenever you want to ask the question how, careful and think about if you are asking for an opinion, it's much better to use the question what like instead of how. Because you will see in the next examples that all the answers that are technically descriptions, all of them are telling us the position of the word, right? They tell you the position of the word and the opinion of the person, okay? Here you have examples like tasty enough or economical for its size. This is another form of an adjective phrase. And we have the same question. What question would you give in the case of the food? If this is the answer, Luis, tell me the question.
For the food was tasty now.
Mhm.
How? No.
Use the question what like.
What was the tasty like?
What was the tasty like? Uh-oh, we are not detecting the subject of the sentence.
Food.
Exactly. Tasty is a description.
What was the food like?
What was the food like? Very good. That's the one. Come on, what was it tasty? What are you talking about? Good job. What was the food like? And how was the food?
I don't know if this is also a Spanish problem, because maybe in the Spanish we can ask for the two things: the taste and the food.
Ah, okay. What was it? The taste of the food.
¿Qué te pareció la comida? ¿Qué te pareció el sabor? Qué tal está el sabor?
But do we actually ask for the taste? Like I don't think so. But anyway, that will be a different thing. What's the taste like? I imagine this question, what's the taste like? The other day, for example, I have British friends, and in England, they have this thing called Marmite, and it's like so natural for them. It's like so traditional for them. This Marmite is a uh, black kind of Coca-Cola color, that you put on bread and you drink with tea, or you can eat it with tea. Exactly. It's impossible to imagine the taste. Do you agree? Let me check if I can check a Marmite.
It's like butter.
That's exactly the issue, no? Like if it's black, here it is. Look. What taste would it have?
Yes, that question is the appropriate.
That in that case is the appropriate question, because you're asking about the taste, because we have no idea how it tastes.
Similar to what?
Similar to what?
Yes, you are asking for the taste. If it's similar to what? What product that you have tasted before?
Okay. Okay, I get it. I get your question. Okay, I get your question. That will be an Spanglish question.
Yes.
Ask the question again. What?
uh, what is the what is the taste like?
Exactly. What is the taste like, or what does it taste like?
Aha.
In a moment, I tell you. Let me speak with you, Jessie, because Jessie will pass attendance. Okay. Hello, Jess.
Good morning.
Good morning, girl.
Hello. Only he this and it's it.
And it's it. Exactly. But we need to pass. Chucho left early.
All right.
Okay, so let's pass the class to him.
Okay. So hi Luis and hi it. Thank you.
Hi, Jessie.
Hi, Jesse. Good morning.
Good morning. Have a good day.
Good
You
day,
too.
girl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care,
You're
Jesse.
welcome.
So, what do you think about Marmite?
I don't know. It doesn't look.
It's super strange. Super strange. I remember I saw this on YouTube when I was young, and when I became a teacher, I met British teachers. They visited Mexico and they brought Marmite from England. And I was like, brother, I have always wanted to try Marmite. Can I have some? And they told me, are you sure? Because nobody likes it. No Mexican likes this stuff. Like I don't have a Mexican friend that love Marmite like us. And they were right. They were right. It really tastes horrendously bad for us.
As what?
In my how can I tell you? Number one, it is salty.
No.
Aha,
Oh, come on.
exactly. It
Salty
is.
with tea.
It is salty, and you put it on a bread, on a toast.
What?
You take a piece of bread, just like this, a toast, and you then scrub it with Marmite, and it tastes a little bit salty. So the tea with milk relaxes the taste a little bit of Marmite, because Marmite is an intense salt flavor. And that is usually eaten when you are having your vegetables at lunch, you know. Similar, like in this section of the world, we put butter and salt on a bread, no? Like a French toast. Over there is a little bit different in color because the taste is not the same, but it's salty, you know? That's Marmite. Impossible to imagine, no? Well, there you have it. In that particular question, you would say, what does it taste like? What is the taste like? The two options. Got it?
Maybe because we don't have, I think in the Mexican food, sweet or how could I say, food with a good flavor, good taste of that color.
Probably we reject the color of it, no, the view.
Yes, yes, we are predisposed now.
Yeah, exactly. So I would tell a person who criticizes the color, I would say like, that we enjoy Coca-Cola like nobody else. I mean, Coca-Cola is definitely not a natural color, right? But we enjoy it anyway. So that's technically a similar case in this one. So yeah, that's the thing. Let's go to the next one. It's what question would you say for the next answer? The car is economical for its size.
What is the economical like?
Again, similar to Louis, you are not detecting the subject of the sentence.
What is the car like?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's correct. What is the car like? How's the car like? It's interesting. Both of you went to the word tasty and economical, but they are descriptions.
Yes.
Subject. Detect the subject, the car and the food. Okay. So as you can see, the word like is used at the end of the sentence to ask about opinion. Now, what happens when you already know the collocation of a word? In the next set of questions, you will see that when you have the word, for example, aware, according to the collocations, you always need a connector of. Therefore, when you ask a question, you need to put them together, especially when you are asking the question, what? For example, instead of asking how, you are going to ask, what was she aware of? What was she aware of? Which is taking the collocation that you have in the bottom. She was aware of the danger of traveling alone. Do you understand this?
No.
What's the question?
What is aware?
Oh, okay. Aware. Here.
Knowing or realizing something. Okay. As far as I am. Okay.
You get it?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Y
So
aware
then,
of is the same.
okay, okay. If you talk about collocation, it's right here.
Aware of something. Oh.
Read it.
Aware of something. He was well aware of the problem.
Which is similar to say he was
I don't know.
knowing or realizing the problem. That's the definition.
Okay.
He understood the problem, he knew about the problem,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
That's the one. So when we talk about being aware of something, we know about the problem, and she was aware of the danger of traveling alone. The question here goes that, as you can see, the connector of is in the dictionary, indicating that it is always together with the word aware. And when you ask a question, you need to bring this collocation, you need to bring this preposition to the question.
She. Okay. Nice.
Right? Questions?
She was. No.
Sure.
No.
Come on, then make a question. What part do you understand? What part you don't understand? Help me, guys.
I don't know. How was she? What? Oh. I don't see the relation. I don't know.
You don't see the what?
The similarity in how was she aware of? I don't know. What was she aware of? In my mind, responding to different things.
Interesting. What do you answer if you say how was she?
How was cool or good?
Ah, exactly. Uh-huh. Okay. The reason of the lesson is using the question how doesn't give you the full intention that of what you want to say. Because precisely if you say how was she, I understand. Well, she was fine, right? But we are not talking about the way she felt or the way she was when she traveled alone. In that particular case, we need a very specific question.
Okay.
So the word what was aware of is more directed towards what you want to say instead of only how. How is like kindergarten English. How is she?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's
Okay. Okay.
the one.
Yes.
What about Luis? Do you understand this?
Yes, and I think I have a question related to this. For example, in the previous example about how is the car like? Because I was thinking that maybe if you ask like this, how is the car like? Your
Can you
question
get
will.
closer to your microphone because you sound very far? Cannot hear you.
Is it better? No.
A little bit.
Let me enhance.
Sure.
Uh, is it better?
Okay, that's much better.
Okay. Okay, so I think the problem is with my microphone. Okay. Well, I guess that I think I have a similar question related for this, in particular, with the previous example about how the car is.
Mhm.
Because I was thinking that maybe if you ask what is the car like? The question is so open.
Totally. That was a good observation. Very
What is the
nice.
car? Is the car maybe is big? Maybe is cheap? Maybe is no?
Exactly.
It's not. It's modern.
Fast.
Yes, there are a lot of possible, a variety of answers.
Very good observation. Very, very good observation. So we can take that word economical, and you can take it as an example too. That car is economical for its size. We can eliminate the question, what is the car like? And you can take the adjective economical and the collocation for.
Okay.
Try to make the question.
What is the price like?
Kinda. Because now you are changing the subject. We are not talking about the price. We're talking about the car. Again, take the adjective economical and the corresponding collocation.
What is economic? What is economic? Economic for? No.
And the subject?
Yes. What is economic? What is economic? Economic car for?
Economic is a different word. Economic doesn't exist.
Cheap?
Read the word again.
Economical?
Economical, not economic.
Yeah. What is economical car for?
Close. Subject verb complement. Remember the formula of a question.
What is the economical car for?
Economical is part of the complement because, as you can see, economical is after the verb to be. You see? So you cannot change the position of economical because it's not describing. It's not before car. It's after the verb to be. So you need to ask using economical in the position of the complement.
What is
Uh-huh.
what is car?
Nice.
What is car economical for?
Perfect. Which car?
Which car?
Which car?
That car? No, no.
What is the indicative that speaks about specific cars in this case? Your sentence is incomplete. What is car? What car?
What is the car?
Exactly.
Economical for?
Economical for. That is correct.
What is it?
You get it?
A little. a little bit confused. What's
Why?
maybe economical is producing me issues.
If you're thinking in Spanish, because that can be a problem.
Yes, I think it's due to Spanish. What is a car economical for?
Economical is similar to cheap.
Yeah, I think it's because it's sounding uh, uh, with my Spanish language similar to como para qué es barato, ¿no?
Yes, you're thinking in Spanish. Because what for? What for is not necessarily para qué.
Yes, I think it's this mismatch of meaning.
Yes, exactly. You're thinking in Spanish. Oh no. No. Remove that. What is the car economical for is explain the reason why. Because for is the connector for reason or purpose. So you say the computer is good for your job. That's the purpose of the computer. I do exercise for my health. That's the reason I do exercise.
So what for in this question is similar to why?
It could be similar to why.
Okay. So the combination of the two words, for example, what like is similar to qué tal. What for similar to why. O sea, this question
Nice.
in order to be understood is a combination of the two words.
That's right, exactly. What if you change it like this? Why is the car economical? What is the car economical for?
Okay, yeah. It now
That
makes
was an
sense for me.
interesting one. Okay. Because we were thinking the question how, right?
Yes.
Okay.
¿Qué tan barato es? I know.
Exactly, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There you go. What an interesting way to ask questions. So the activity, and if you watch the video, you will see that the girl uses this formulation very often. She uses as, and she uses the preposition at the end because she's asking many questions. That is more common than asking how and why. Imagine that.
So maybe the first formula is formal or just in common?
Just uncommon. In this case, it would be no difference on formal and informally. Let's say, the first question is beginner. The second question is advanced.
Yes, it makes sense. Yes, because the second one looks further than from Spanish.
From Spanish, exactly. And it's more directed towards what you want to say.
Yes.
Welcome to Advanced English, guys. Take your screenshot, and we'll continue tomorrow. Right? Good job, my people. Excellent job. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Have a very good
tomorrow,
day.
everyone.
You too.
Bye, Luis. Bye, teacher.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Take care.
You too.